Hello and welcome back to Emily Cat 176. Hopefully there's enough light today. It's just been raining all day, so yes, it's nearly November and we should be getting summer weather now, but we're not. But anyway, so I've actually seen another film recently. It's very unusual for me to see two films in 2 weeks. I've seen a few shorts. The next film I'll probably see will be late November. But this one, I went and saw Frankenstein. Now, I haven't read the book, so I have nothing to judge this on. I think was it Mary Shelley who wrote Frankenstein? I don't know if this is like the book. Don't know. But this film, Guillermo del Toro, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. He directed and wrote this film. Oscar Isaac played Victor, who is the one that creates this person. Mia Goth played Lady Elizabeth. And Jacob Elordi played the creature. And I think this is the fact that it's listed as the creature. I knew that what I know about Frankenstein before I saw this film, I knew this scientist created this being. And this is what happens in the film, of course. I wouldn't call this one a creature. I would say it's a being. And the whole thing is Oscar Isaac as Victor. Victor, he's obsessed. He's obsessed with creating this person out of bits and pieces. And the other thing is, too, the one who plays the being, Jacob Elordi, he must have spent so much time in makeup. It must have been an enormous time in makeup because of course, I'll say the creature, but it's a being, is made up of bits and pieces from other people. And, well, that's an issue in itself. I'm not going to go into that. But, yeah, I thought it was a good film. It was a very good film. I'd give it probably 4 out of 5. It would have been a big budget film. Huge budget, I would think, for this film, because it's the special effects, and it's interesting because, as I said, this Victor, he's obsessed with this idea, and he manages to do this, and then he regrets it. And I think part of this film too is it makes you think, what is it that makes us human? Because Victor, I don't think he's given any thought to the fact that this will be a living being. Where's the soul? Where's the emotions? You know, he hasn't thought of any of that. He's so wrapped up, and I think Oscar Isaac does a wonderful job as Victor. All the cast were good. He's so wrapped up in wanting to create this being that he's, well, at the time, because it's set in the late 1800s, of course, the being is considered a monster. But I came away from this film thinking the monster was actually Oscar Isaac's character, Victor. He's the true monster. Now, I don't know if this is like the book, but it was interesting. And of course, I was talking to the people around. We were all going, whoa, what did you think of that sort of thing? But it's a horror story, because the creature, or the being, they can't die. And this is the other thing. Who wants to live forever? I know there's a few despots around the world who are trying to do that, but it brings up themes, this film. It really does bring up themes. And again, it's a film that makes you think about it afterwards. And I have been thinking about it since I saw it. And that is a good film as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that the last two films I've seen, I've talked to other audience members and we've discussed it. To me, that means they're good films. So have any of you seen this? It's just come out in Australia. I don't know if it's already in America and Europe and such places, but yeah, Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein. That's. Have any of you read the book? Because, as I said, I've got no reference point for this. I know it's a very famous book. Very famous. Is that the only thing she ever wrote? I don't know. But yes, Frankenstein, I've titled this thing a horror tale, and it is a horror tale. The whole thing is a horror tale, I think. But it was done very well, and I would give it 4 out of 5. So that was my Frankenstein experience. I said 2 films in 2 weeks, very unusual. And, as I said, I've seen the short to a film that I want to see next month as well. So there's been some good films come out recently. And given a preference, I like seeing films in a big screen. So this is why I do go to the cinema, because I like the big screen, the surround sound. I know you can get big TVs. I don't actually watch TV. But yeah, Frankenstein, a horror tale. Okay, so that's it for Monday. I will be back on Wednesday with a poem. If we haven't floated away, it is just raining non-stop. Raining non-stop today. Incredible. Hopefully the reservoirs are getting full. So enjoy your week, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Bye.